Hello, this is Susan Woods, your Black Lives Matter fraud investigator. Thank you so much for your time. This is part 4 of 6 of an investigation that strives to answer the question, why did the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation give $21.7 million to the LGBTQIA organizations? So again, this is part 4 of 6. In this investigation, I went to the blacklivesmatter.com website and I read the 2020 impact report. A part of that report focused in on the 30 LGBTQIA organizations that the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation Board of Directors, which in 2020 only consisted of Patrice Coolers, why she decided to allocate $21.7 million to these 30 organizations. And in part 1 of the investigation, I focused on the Okra Project, TGI Justice Project, Tech Birmingham, Trans United, the Audre Lorde Project, Trans Justice. So what I did, I divided the investigations into 6 parts because there are 30 organizations. So each part discusses 5 organizations. So again, the first one is as shown here. The second investigation, I focused on Breakout, Black Trans Circles, BLMP, Solutions Not Punishment Coalition, Marsha P. Johnson Institute. That's the second part. The third part, I focused on these organizations, the Transgender District, Black Trans Travel Fund for the Girls, House of Gigi, and Highlander Center. So for part 4, I'm focusing on these organizations in this video message. Bold, Eat Chicago, PANA, Africans Rising, and Haitian Bridge Alliance. So these are the 5 that I'm focusing on in this part 4 of 6 video message. So in 2020, the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation did select 30 organizations, which were not a part of our grassroots apparatus, to be our first cohort of official BLM GNF grantees. So you can read the rest of this if you like. But again, at the helm of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation in 2020 was Patrice Coolers. She was a one-woman show when the organization received over $90 million in revenues from people around the world in the wake of the George Floyd murder. And that's the $90 million that they admit to receiving. So for some reason, she decided to allocate or use $21.7 million for these particular organizations. So the purpose of this video series is to try to answer the question, why? Why were they qualified? What made these organizations worthy of $21.7 million? And in my prior investigations, I went to the websites of each of the organizations and I looked at their about statements, and then I looked at their donate buttons or the donate pages to determine whether or not they were actually 501c3 designated organizations based on the IRS requirements. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go to each one of these organizations' web pages to look at the about, to see what they are about, and also to look at their donate pages to see if they provide an employer identification number, which I could then use to determine whether or not they have 501c3 status from the IRS. Because when an organization or a foundation provides grant money to organizations, normally the recipients will have their own 501c3 designations. So that's the thrust of this investigation, just to see if they are legitimate organizations worthy of receiving $21.7 million. So I'm going to pause my screen, sharing of my screen right now, so that I can pull up those websites for you so that we can take a look at if they are legitimate or not. So just one moment, please, and thank you for your patience. It just takes me a few moments to get to where I need to be. So I appreciate your kindness and your patience while I do that. Okay, almost there. Okay, so the first location I want to share with you is the actual blacklivesmatter.com website. And I want to show you how you can find the same information that I'm referencing. So to find the Impact Fund report, I want to where the information is shown about the 30 LGBTQIA organizations, you go to resources and you click on the 2020 Impact Report. Now, the Black Lives Matter leadership team, which is Patrice Concoulers in 2020, decided to put together this 2020 Impact Report in response to the number of questions that people were sending to them regarding how they were using the $90 million that they generated, not for the whole year of 2020. The $90 million came in a time span of between the time George Floyd was murdered in May of 2020 until about September 2020. So you're talking about roughly May, June, July, August, September, roughly 5 months. This organization received $90 million. So it wasn't a whole year of 2020. It was after he was murdered that they received this money. So they had to try to create some type of reporting to answer the question. But when you read through the report, it's very, very clear to me that the motivation was just to make everybody be quiet, to get off their backs, to hush the chatter, because this information is just ridiculous when you read it in detail the way that I have. But I'm going to click on the PDF version of the report, and then I'm going to go to page 22, which is the page that starts the information that we are investigating, or that I am investigating right now, just to show you how to get to it for your own benefit. We've already looked at it. We're going to start with the BOLD organization here, and we're going to just look at BOLD, Eat Chicago, PANA, Africans Rising, and the Haitian Bridge Alliance. Those are the topics of part 4 of 6 today. So I'm going to go over to BOLD. I've already pulled up the websites for these organizations, so we can go straight to them. So BOLD, here's BOLD. And with BOLD, it says BOLD. The acronym is Black Organizing for Leadership and Dignity. It's a nonprofit organization that facilitates social transformation and improves the living conditions of Black people by rebuilding the social justice infrastructure required to organize Black communities. Okay, whatever that means. Now, you can scroll through. The reason why I showed you how to go to the blacklivesmatter.com website and how to find this report and then to find the links to these organizations is so that you can have an opportunity, if you choose to go back and really dig into these websites to learn more about these organizations if you're interested. But I'm not going to do that. But it shows their BOLD trainings, their programs, directors and leads, and whatever else they're talking about here. So you can go through. But like I said, I want to find out more information about their donate page. Specifically, I want to see if it provides an EIN number that I can use to investigate this organization on the IRS.gov website to see if they are entitled or worthy of getting money from the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. So I'm clicking on the donate page here. And here it has something about Giving Tuesday and the 2022 end of year fundraising drive. And I'm scrolling down just to see they almost met their goal for 2020. They met 80% of their goal, but I'm looking for an EIN reference, employer identification number reference. And I'm not seeing that here. I'm not even seeing a reference to them having 501c3 status. So in order to investigate this organization on the IRS website, I would have to investigate it based on the name of the organization, which is Black Organizing for Leadership and Dignity, which is BOLD. And they are based in New York. So that's one way I can look it up, because they're not providing an EIN number. That doesn't mean they don't have one, but they're not providing it here. Word to the wise, if you do have an earned 501c3 status, always post your EIN number on every page of your website, especially on your donate page, because it makes it easier for people who may want to invest in your organization to find out the information about your organization. So that's just a tip for anyone that wants to accept it. So that's the BOLD organization. Now I'm going to go over to the next one in our list of organizations, which is EAT, Equity and Transformation. EAT, Equity and Transformation. So this is the second organization that's in our list of organizations we're going to look at today. And let's see what it's about. I'm going to scroll down. Equity and Transformation. The website looks nice. The mission of Equity and Transformation, or EAT, is to provide social and economic equity for Black workers engaged in the informal economy, which I don't know what that means, but I'm sure that if I were to study this site more, I would get a better understanding of what it does mean. So I'm going to go to the donate page because I'm looking for the EIN number for this organization to see if it is worthy of receiving grant funding from the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. So let's just see, this is the donate page. And it says your gift, that's a trigger word for me. Your gift directly supports the mission and vision of Equity and Transformation. Normally when people use the word gift, that's a code word for meaning you can't write it off. You are giving us the money without any expectation of being able to write it off on your taxes, which further means we don't have 501c3 status. So let's see. Let's keep scrolling. I'm just looking. So it says choose amount. Oh, everybody. Okay. I see a reference to section 501c3. Okay, so let me increase the size of this so that you can see it too. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Let me scroll down. Okay, it says equity. Here I am right here. Equity and Transformation is a section 501c3 charitable organization. All right. EIN 83-470 1430. Very good. All donations are deemed tax deductible absent any limitations on deductibility applicable to a particular taxpayer. No goods or services were provided in exchange for your contribution. So I beg your pardon. When I saw the word gift, your gift here, that was a red flag for me. It triggered me. I said, this organization doesn't have 501c3 status, but I was wrong apparently. So that's great news. So when I go to the IRS page, I'm going to use the EIN number to see if it is if it's valid for one, and also if it's in a current status and not revoked status. So that's great news. That's great news. And I beg your pardon. I was wrong on that. So let's keep going. That's great. Next, the next organization in our list of organizations, let me get to it. Just one moment here. Let me find the one that's coming up next. I apologize for PANA. PANA is the next organization that we're going to take a look at on our list of organizations. So let me see. Let me get to that. Okay, so here we are, PANA. PANA is Partnership for the Advancement of New Americans. Partnership for the Advancement of New Americans. So if I go to About, we fight to advance the full economic, social, and civic inclusion of refugees in the San Diego region, throughout California and across the country. Okay. All right. So this is what this organization is about. We envision a world where refugees are connected global leaders building transcontinental movement work to advance meaningful freedom for all. Okay, so get involved. Under get involved, I'm going to click on donate just to see their donate button. So it says membership, make an impact. We are doubling down and recommitting ourselves to this fight. We ask you to join our movement by becoming one of our sustaining monthly donors. So I'm going to click on become a member. And I'm looking for the EIN number. So, Given Tuesday, support our rapid response, mutual aid, and refugee advocacy efforts. Okay. So let me scroll down because I don't want to make an assumption like I did the other time when I didn't see the EIN quickly. I'm not seeing an EIN. Are you seeing an EIN? I don't see one yet. So I'm going to actually click on the donate button and maybe I will see it then. Okay. Let's see. Basically the same information, just at a different layout. I'm not seeing the EIN. Okay, so that means I'm going to look up this organization, Partnership for the Advancement of New Americans, which is PANA on the IRS website. Okay, and let's see what happens. So that's that organization. So I'm going to pause and I'm going to keep going to the next organization in our series of organizations that we are investigating to see if they are worthy, of receiving 501c3. I'm sorry, if they are worthy of receiving tax-free money from the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation in the form of grants. Okay, so the next one on our list is called Africans Rising. And the one after that is called Haitian Bridge Alliance. So I'm going to now resume sharing the screen just to let you know that africansrising.org is not a website anymore. So the africansrising.org is not a website anymore, so I cannot investigate that one. Same thing with haitianbridge.org. It's not a website anymore. haitianbridge.org is not a website anymore, so I cannot investigate that website. So that's okay. I'm going to pause my sharing for just one moment so that I can then go to irs.gov website to show you the results of the investigation in terms of whether or not the first three are worthy. Okay, we've already looked at the first three: Bold, EAT, and PANA. So I'm going to investigate those three organizations just to let you see whether or not they are worthy of tax-free money. So I'm going to walk you through the steps to investigate. Then these steps can be used to investigate any organization. So you go to irs.gov, click on charities and nonprofits, click on tax-exempt organization search, click on search organizations. Okay, you're on that tax-exempt organization search page. Then again, click tax-exempt organization search tool. When you're not on that page, search for tax-exempt organizations, then click on search for tax-exempt organizations button. I believe the IRS can consolidate some of these pages into one page. But anyway, we're now on the tax-exempt organization search page. And this is a page that you can use to search for any organization that claims to have 501c3 status. So I'm going to search by organization name for the Black Organizing for Leadership Dignity organization, or BOLD, Black Organizing for Leadership Dignity. And it is in New York. Okay, so you choose these search options. New York. Okay, and then search. Okay, did not return any results. That's okay. I'm going to search by its acronym, BOLD. Sometimes you have to search by more than one option. Okay, it's searching for it to see if BOLD is listed as an organization in New York. Oh my goodness, there's several with this acronym. Okay, or with the acronym in the actual name. Oh, okay. So, and in New York. So we're looking for Black Organizing for Leadership Dignity, Blacks Organizing for Leadership Dignity. Okay, they're not there. I'm not seeing them. So we're not seeing the name of the organization or the acronym for the organization, and it's showing all 14 results, showing 1 of 14 of 14. So the first one I cannot find. The second organization, remember, it has an EIN that I can search for, and that is Equity and Transformation, or EAT. So it's 83-470 430. And I didn't document what city it's in, so I'm going to remove the city and just put, oh my goodness, I didn't mean to put that. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't write down all of the numbers. Okay, my fault. Let me go back. 83-470. Oh, 1430. That's my fault. And I need to change this as well. Put all. There we go. Now search. Equity and Transformation. Okay, so Equity and Transformation shows here, and it's in Berwyn, Illinois, and I'm going to click on it. Now, let me just share something with you right quick. Let me share something with you right quick. When you see these links over on the side, it's letting you know that this organization is in active status because we don't see anything about a revocation notice. So I'm going to click on Equity and Transformation to learn more about this organization. But what I have learned so far is it does have 501c3 status. That's the main thing, and the status is current. So they are worthy of receiving grant funding as far as their status is concerned. And it also tells me that the last time they filed an information return was in 2019, according to this information shown here. So they are behind in their filing. I'm surprised they're not revoked, because if the last time filing was in 2019, that means they missed 2020, they missed 2021, and 2022. That's 3 consecutive years. So if they don't file by their fiscal year tax ending period, they will lose their status this year automatically. But anyway, they have not lost it. They are still active, and that's what matters as far as if they are eligible to receive grant money. So that's good news for them. Okay, the last organization that I'm going to check out of the first 3, because remember the last 2 don't have websites that I can use to check them out. So the next one is called Partners for the Advancement for New Americas. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Partnership for the Advancement for New Americans, okay? Or PANA. So let me search for this organization by its full name first. And then if I can't find it by its full name, I will search by its acronym, PANA. And here they are. Okay, so they are in San Diego, and they do not have a revocation notice either. So that's good. That means they are an active 501c3 organization. And when I click on it, you can see information about this organization, Partnership for the Advancement of New Americans, EIN, where they're located. And oh my gosh, okay. Oh, here we are. I was about to say, how in the world can they still be in business? But the tax period 2015, but then they have other copies of tax returns, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2019 again. I'm not sure why two 2019s are there, but they are behind in filing their information returns for the tax years. Okay. And if you want to learn more about how much they generated in that particular year, you can click on a copy of the return right here, the Form 990 filing, and you can scroll down. Let me increase the size of the screen so that you can read it. So I'm trying to get to. And how much did they generate in 2019 in revenue? They generated $989,747. So I'm not quite sure why the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation would deem them worthy of receiving money in 2020, because it seems like they are doing pretty well on their own without donating additional money to them. But again, when you have one person in charge, how can you question what they're doing? You know, one person, Patrice Conkoulis, was in charge of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation in 2020. So she allocated money to this organization for whatever reason, I don't know. But, and of course, we don't know exactly how much she allocated her organization. We just know that she allocated $21.7 million to 30 LGBTQIA organizations. We don't have a breakdown of how much each one received. So that concludes my investigation for part 4 of 6 into the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation and why it gave $21.7 million to 30 LGBTQIA organizations in 2020. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.